Your demo is confirmed for tomorrow, Wednesday the 29th of October at 3 p.m. Sydney time.
My AI voice agency wasted about $1,500 a week manually responding and replying to leads that entered a contact form on our website. With voice AI improving faster than ever, it's now possible to automate the entire lead follow-up process from the moment a lead enters their details via a contact form to the moment they're booked into your calendar for that discovery call.
What day and time would be best for your demo?
Let's do tomorrow 2 p.m. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I set up an AI voice bot that automatically calls and qualifies leads the moment they submit a form. And if they meet my criteria, it books them straight into a discovery call with one of our sales reps without me having to lift a finger. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to set this up for your business or your client's business step by step using my plug and play template. But here, the real question is, how good are these AI voice systems really? How realistic are they? And most importantly, how effective are they in converting leads to appointments more efficiently than manual outreach?
Mind if I ask a few quick questions about your business?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. My name is Jonas Massey. I run an AI voice development agency, Talk AI. I also help developers and business owners learn, build, and deploy AI voice systems over on my community, the AI Voice Network, just like the very calling system we'll be building out today. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So to explain the system we'll be building today, we're going to start off with N8N and building a workflow over there, which houses our contact form logic. So where the lead can enter their information, such as their name, email, phone number. We're going to take that contact form and start some pre-call initiation logic, which essentially here we're loading their name, email, and number, and then using those informations to distribute a call using the ElevenLabs calling endpoint and loading that call with one of our agents, which will handle that qualification and booking part of our entire process. The next part is obviously facilitating this outbound call, and that's going to be done by our ElevenLabs agent, who's going to qualify that lead. And if qualified, we're going to suggest some appointment times and book directly into our calendar. If unqualified, we're going to capture that lead into a database to further nurture that lead in case in the future we want to retarget them or perhaps cross-sell some other services to them. Now we're going to be building out this system within ElevenLabs, specifically their agents platform, which is going to be connected to our calendar system, which is done via cal.com. And I've done numerous videos now with connecting cal.com in parallel with our ElevenLabs agents. So I'll be referencing a past video on how to do that booking logic, but you'll see what I mean. Now, the third and final process of this entire system is what happens at the end of the call. So when the call is finished, we need to launch an evaluation to determine whether that call was failed, whether it was successful, and so forth. We'll also be collecting some information off the back of that call, such as the booking details and the transcript if available. We'll use these details to go ahead and add a contact into our database. And for today, we're going to be using the native database within N8N data tables to make it very seamless and very easy to get this spun up within 30 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and jump straight into the ElevenLabs platform and spin up a new agent. Over here on ElevenLabs, we can go ahead and create a new blank agent. Let's go ahead and name this perhaps Emily, qualification. And we'll go ahead and hit create agent here. Now, ElevenLabs is a very simple platform to use. In essence, we have about 8 sections here that all correspond to how a voice agent operates. At the top here, agent, workflow, voice analysis test, security, advanced, widget. So what we want to do first is go ahead and create our agent. Now here, we're going to enter a first message. What is it our agent needs to say when we first call that user and they pick up? Here we'll say hello, and we're going to do 2 curly braces, customer_name. And this is essentially loading in a dynamic variable that we're going to use from the contact form to personalize this call a bit. So hello, name, and you can think of this as hello, Jonas. It's Emily calling from Talk AI. I saw you entered your contact details. Mind if I ask a few quick questions about your business? We can hit save on that one, and because we're loading in this customer name, we'll need to enter a placeholder value here, so we can just say my name here. We'll hit save on that. Now next, we'll want to add a system prompt. Here I've got a script already lined up, and I'm going to paste that in like so. Essentially what this script does, we'll set the personality, so the name, role being an outbound AI appointment setter for company name, some traits, speaking style, and setting the environment, so channel being an outbound call, where we're located, some business hours and so forth, as well as tone, how it should speak, warm, professional, confident, and approachable, and the goal of this agent, which is to ask 3 qualification questions, decide fit, and proceed accordingly. We'll load in this opening or any custom one that we may decide to come up with. Then we'll set the qualification flow, so asking 1, 2, and 3 questions, and then how we're meant to decide whether they're qualified or not. And then moving on, if qualified, go ahead and proceed over to our scheduling logic. If not qualified, ending that call. And our scheduling logic is similar to what we had done in the past 2 ElevenLabs videos for inbound. So go ahead and check those out. Once we've loaded that prompt in, we can go ahead and add our time zone. And specifically, we're in Sydney, Australia. So we'll add that. And then we're also going to add a system variable. So a native variable here where we can load in the current time in Sydney, Australia. So system_time. So we can save that and move on. Here, we're going to set our temperature to 0.3 to be on the more deterministic side. So the higher this is, the more creative, the lower, the more deterministic. And here we're going to enable the end call native tool. We'll also add some custom tools as per our last video, appointment setter, our availability tool, and our booking tool there. Video up here if you don't know how this works. Moving on, we'll go ahead and enter our voice side, and here we can select a voice for our AI agent. Luna sounds pretty good, so we'll go ahead and use her. Don't want to use Flash, we'll keep it as Turbo V2. Now we'll go to evaluation. We can add our first evaluation criteria, outcome, and the prompt here we can set as the result will be one of these 3 values: success if the user got booked into calendar, failure if the user didn't get booked, and we can add that criteria. Hit save on that one. And now referring back to the Miro where we wanted to collect some details. So here we're going to add data collection, do booking details, and the description. You will extract calendar booking details from the transcript. We can go ahead and leave this as a string value. We can just leave as booking to make it a bit more simplistic. Now, finally, we'll have to go into security, and this is where we're going to send the conversation to our N8N scenario post call. So scroll down to where you see post call webhook. We're going to create a webhook, and here we'll need to name this. So we can say N8N post call, and this is for Emily. And now we'll need to enter an webhook address. So over in N8N, we can go ahead and set up a webhook node, and we can go ahead and save that, activate it, and we can copy this, heading back over to ElevenLabs and entering that in like so. Now our post call webhook is connected to our Emily agent, and we're sending a transcript. Okay, cool. So now that our agent is fully built out, let's go ahead and test it, make sure it's all up to scratch, and we'll receive that end of call webhook to our N8N server, in which we can start to map out the post call flow, and then we can set up our call form and our triggers. Okay, very exciting. So let's switch over to executions here. Let's head back over to agents, and we'll chat with our agent here.
Hello, Jonas. It's Emily calling from Talk AI. I saw you entered your contact details online. Mind if I ask a few quick questions about your business?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Great, thanks. Roughly how many outbound qualification calls does your team run in a typical week?
We do about 300 to 400.
And when a new inquiry comes in, how quickly do you usually follow up?
Yeah, we do it within the minute.
Got it. Ballpark, what's a qualified meeting worth to your business?
$1 million.
Based on what you've told me, it sounds like this might not be the right fit right now. I really appreciate your time though, and if things...
And that call, we're obviously an unqualified lead there. Here we'll see our new call had just come up. Status is done. And a message, so all our transcript stuff. So let's concatenate that and get rid of some metadata. And we can see our outcome. So our outcome, e.g. our eval was failed, which is good. And then some of the booking details, we didn't get anything, obviously, because it wasn't booked. We'll book at a later time when we deploy this on our phone. But just to see our transcript summary is enough for us to go ahead and map out our end of call flow. So let's go ahead, copy this to editor. And what we have to do here is we can set an if node just to check if our event type is post-call transcription. So we can drag this value over to here. If true, we'll move forward. If false, it means it's another event that we don't want to work with. So we can say do nothing. Moving on, we'll need to have our database, and that's simply going to be our data tables today. What we want to do here is we'll need to check if the record exists. So if they're an existing database entry, if not, we'll have to create them. So to do that, we can set a get rows node here. And what we'll have to quickly do is create our data table. We can create a contacts Emily data table. We want the user's number in our database, transcript, booking details. Finally, we'll want to add a Boolean type, so true or false, on whether they were qualified or not, e.g. success or failed. And we'll assign it to our data table. If we go ahead and execute this step, you can see our previous nodes had run. Now, obviously that was a post-call transcript, so this is going to equal to true. Now we're going to use things such as the customer number to search this contact. So we can add a condition. Our number is equal to, and we can write an expression. This is going to be JSON.body data, metadata, phone underscore call, and then external number. Cool. We can leave this as is for now because we haven't connected this to a real number and hadn't called, but this is going to be the variable expression here. So this is going to search our database with the called number. And if that exists, it's going to return our records. If it doesn't exist, it's obviously going to be empty. So here for now, I can just quickly go ahead and create myself as a fake contact in here. Booking details, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just creating a fake contact here. And here we can just simulate what this would look like in the event a contact was outputted. Cool. So here, now we can do an if statement to check if something exists, go ahead and update the record. If something doesn't exist, go ahead and create the record. So we can basically say, well, if anything was outputted here, then go down true. So in the case of this, we have some output, so we're down the true branch, right? Now, if something is returned, we'll need another if statement, and this is to check whether the call was failed or successful, right? So determining qualified against unqualified. We can see under our analysis here, we can determine if the result is equal to success, then we'll go up the true path. False, we'll go down the false path, and this is basically to determine whether the lead was qualified or not. So in this case, we can do data tables, date rows. Here, we can duplicate this also. So if this was equal to success, we know that's a qualified lead. So we can go ahead and enable that there. If it wasn't, it was an unqualified lead, and we can leave that checked off. Let's go ahead and hit save. Now let's go down this false branch back over here, where if nothing was returned, we need to create that record. Our top one is obviously if qualified, and our bottom one, obviously if unqualified. Okay, now we want to add an N8N form. So we can type up form here, and we'll go ahead and add a trigger here on new form event. Now what this form is going to do is collect those details that we're going to be using to distribute a call to. So we can say contact form, and our form description will give you a call. Now we can add some form elements such as the field name, and we'll make this a required field. What is your email? And we'll give an example in our placeholder value here. This is going to be an email type. Make that a required field. we'll add a final one. What is your mobile? And again, making that a required field. We'll go up to our production URL here and we'll copy that one, hit save. And here, we don't exactly want to call immediately, like as soon as they enter the form. Perhaps we want to wait maybe 30 seconds, just so it's a bit more realistic. So here we can change the wait amount to 30 seconds. And now after 30 seconds, we'll go ahead and distribute a call. Next, we'll have to go ahead and make an API call to one of two endpoints, depending on what number you've used or imported into ElevenLabs. So I'm going to show you the easiest way using Twilio. So to import a number so our agent can start actually making calls to real live phone numbers, we'll head over back to the ElevenLabs platform and you want to locate under telephony phone numbers. There's two methods of importing a phone number into your ElevenLabs or voice AI ecosystem, and those are to import from Twilio or from a SIP trunk. The more complicated but cheaper method of bringing telephony to your voice AI application. And I go through extensively how to set this up for anyone that's interested in my community. For now, let's choose Twilio and we'll set a label, Twilio number. And we'll need two things, the phone number and Twilio account SID. If you're not familiar with Twilio, head over to console.twilio.com and set up your first account. To create a number or buy a number, you can head over to phone numbers, manage by a number. And here you have literally thousands or millions of numbers you can choose from a wide array of countries and locations. For now, we have an active number. So what I can do is go over to active numbers, copy this number like so. Heading back over to ElevenLabs, copy that in. Now we need our account SID. And to grab such, we can go to our account dashboard at the top left, scrolling down till we see our account info, and we'll copy account SID, heading back. We'll also need an auth token now that we have our SID in there. So we can head back, copy that value as well, and paste that in like so. We can go down to the bottom right and import. Now look at this, we have our own phone number that we can assign to our agent that we had created. Now, like I suggested, there's two ways in which you can import a number inside of ElevenLabs, and I've got two modules associated with creating calls for both methods of number importation. So SIP-Trunk and Twilio. Today we'll use the Twilio, so we can connect our wait module to our outbound call node here. So you can see here we're making a post request to the following endpoint. So this endpoint is api.elevenlabs.io v1 conv AI Twilio /outbound call. We'll need to send headers here, X API key, followed by your ElevenLabs API key, as well as content type application.json. To get your ElevenLabs API key, if you do not know, go over to ElevenLabs, head down to the bottom, developers, and to create an API key, you can go ahead and click like so. You can turn off a restricted key, or perhaps you want to restrict your key. Just make sure that you have ElevenLabs agent write access enabled. Heading back over here and pasting it into this value. Now remember, these scenarios or workflows are going to be left in the description on my community, so do check those out. So moving down, we'll need to send body content type JSON, and we can go ahead and open this up. And what we're going to do here is construct a payload where we send the agent ID and the phone number. With this API post request, we'll also include what number we should be calling. So this is going to be the customer number. And then we're going to load in some initiation client data, including that customer name. So remember when I put that variable value in there, that's exactly what we're doing here. Now let's just deactivate this, save this, and go over to our form, right? Let's just enter this so we have some data to be able to go ahead and send into our calling node. We'll go ahead and submit that. And now if I go to my executions, we'll see our node is running. We're waiting for 30 seconds and then we're going to distribute that call. And you can see that run ran. Let's copy to editor. Now we can activate our node here and we can populate some of these fields with our post request with some of these client informations, customer name, as well as our customer mobile number. Now all we have to do is copy our agent ID and our phone number ID to start making calls. To get that data, let's head back over to ElevenLabs. Over on our agent tab, we can go ahead and locate our agent ID at the top here, paste it in like so. And we'll do the same process for our agent phone number ID. So to grab that, we'll go ahead to our phone numbers tab and we can click into our Twilio number we had just created. And you'll see your ID in the URL bar here, or you can go ahead and copy it directly from here, paste that in like so. Now we're good to start distributing calls. But before we do such, let's add some error handling logic. So we can say an if node, and we can say an expression like our JSON success boolean is true. We'll go ahead and move forward. And now we can do data tables, and that's going to be insert row where we create that contact. If it didn't go through, we can do nothing. Basically, we're checking if this call was made or not. If it was, we'll go ahead and create a record with the data from our form submission. If it wasn't, we'll go ahead and do nothing. And let's just go ahead and disengage this, play this, and map some of these values that we had got from our form submission: name, email, number, and these transcript, booking details, and qualified we can delete because we're not populating like so. We have our entire system all built out from N8N to ElevenLabs. Now all we have to do is go ahead and submit one of these forms and test out everything. Another cool thing you can do with these N8N forms is you can add your own styling. So I've gone ahead and done that to spruce it up a little. And of course, you can send this or connect this to a CTA button on your website, or sync it up to whatever outbound initiative that you're doing off the back of an ad or anything like this. This is the beauty about these N8N forms. Let's go ahead and test it. So I'll put in my name, and here, let's just get my phone ready. We'll go ahead and submit that. 30 seconds, I should receive a call by our agent. And to go ahead and confirm that, we can see our execution running there. We've got 10 seconds until this bad boy is coming through. Call's coming in. Let's go ahead and accept.
Hello, Jonas. It's Emily calling from Talk AI. I saw you entered your contact details online. Mind if I ask a few quick questions about your business?
Sure, go ahead.
Roughly how many outbound qualification calls does your team run in a typical week?
We do about 300.
And when a new inquiry comes in, how quickly do you usually follow up?
Oh, we're really slow, 48 hours minimum.
I understand. And ballpark, what's a qualified meeting worth to your business?
About $400.
Got it. That's exactly where AI voice agents perform best. Would you be open to a quick 15-minute demo with one of our directors to show you how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
Great. Can I get the best email for you?
It's jonas@talkai.au.
Just to make sure I got that properly, can you spell that out letter by letter?
JONAS@TALKAI.au.
Great, thank you. What day and time would be best for your demo?
Do you have anything tomorrow midday, 12 p.m.?
Unfortunately, that exact time isn't available. However, I do have openings tomorrow at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Sydney time. Would either of those work for you?
2 p.m. sounds good.
Excellent. Your demo with one of our directors is confirmed for tomorrow, October 29th at 2 p.m. Sydney time. You'll receive a calendar invite shortly with all the details.
But let's go ahead and check out the end of call report scenario when that pops through. Little error there, but we'll go ahead and debug. As you can see, it went up the right path. Now all we have to do is add a condition here, and we'll do ID is equal to this. Coming from our if qualified node, we'll see our booking details over here that we can populate in here. Now, if I execute that step, our record had been created. Let's go ahead and simulate this for our other details. So we'll simulate this false path. I just switched that to does not exist, so we can go down here. And then now we can map these values to insert in the case that a record doesn't exist. And down here for our create record for unqualified, it's the same. So really why the record wouldn't exist is if they call back into the agent on a do not or a no caller ID, which is very rare, but it's important to map out logic for this. So now that we've got our end of call report set up, let's go ahead and test one last time with that booking logic, and I'll pull up my calendar and email as well. So we got that set up now. Let's go ahead and simulate a lead that has contacted a business in which we need to distribute a qualification call and book them in for an appointment if appropriate. So here, a lead's going to enter their first name, their email, and obviously their number. They're going to submit a contact form inquiry to which we're going to distribute our outbound lead qualification caller, who will run through some questions. If qualified, book in for an appointment. If not qualified, end that call. Super efficient, super valuable if you're a business owner or if you're a developer looking to implement a cool solution that yields such a big ROI for businesses looking to save time and increase revenue. All right, that call's coming through now, guys.
Hello, Jonas. It's Emily calling from Talk AI. I saw you entered your contact details online. Mind if I ask a few quick questions about your business?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Great, thanks. Roughly how many outbound qualification calls does your team run in a typical week?
We would do about 50.
50, got it. When a new inquiry comes in, how quickly do you usually follow up?
Man, we're pretty slow. We don't have a system like this, so it takes, 2-3 days, I would say, to follow up with all our inquiries.
2 to 3 days, understood. And ballpark, what's a qualified meeting worth to your business?
$500.
Got it. That's exactly where AI voice agents perform best. Would you be open to a quick 15-minute demo with one of our directors to show you how it works?
Absolutely. Let's book that in.
Excellent. Can I get the best email for you?
So my email is jonas@talkai.au.
Just to make sure I got that properly, can you spell that out letter by letter?
It's jonas@talkai.au.
Perfect. What's your full name, please?
So my name is Jonas Massey.
Thanks, Jonas. And what day and time would be best for your demo?
Let's do tomorrow 2 p.m. if you've got availability. That's Wednesday the 29th.
Unfortunately, 2 p.m. isn't available. However, I do have an opening tomorrow, Wednesday the 29th, at 3 p.m. Sydney time. Would that work for you?
That works great. Let's book that in.
Your demo is confirmed for tomorrow, Wednesday the 29th of October at 3 p.m. Sydney time. You'll receive a calendar invitation shortly.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate that one.
You're very welcome, Jonas. Thanks for your time as well. Have a great day.
Bye. Perfect. So you can see there. And this was on the AI agent's calendar. It properly identified not being available with the requested time. Now I'm using an event that we created in last video, so this was for dental implants. Nonetheless, got the email right. As far as our CRM goes, you can see populated, and we should see our booking details and our transcript here. Perfect. And as per our workflow, executed great. Awesome, guys. So that is it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment below. If you're looking for those resources and templates seen in today's video, go ahead and check out the link below to my community. It's just been released, so I'd appreciate your support there. If you're looking to stay ahead of the AI voice agent curve, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay updated. But that is it for today. Until next video, guys.